listen, let's start then, okay? It's a pleasure to have and welcome Cris Tran. Cris, I'm Sean Alimov. I'm the founder of the NFT Club on Connect Club. So this event is part of the NFT Club, as you're probably aware. For everybody in the audience, Cris is the highly experienced digital strategist. He's a serial entrepreneur. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you've got more than 10 years of a proven track record in defining new strategies, working within the tech place, launching new ventures. And you're a deputy CEO at Galaxy One, which is part of Sovico Group. And you also co-founded Farm Central, a universe in which blockchain empowers funds to become investors with all kinds of entertainment products. How did you get that job? That's what I want to know.
Should I answer that right away?
Yes, please, because I feel like I need to have a chat with my career advisor. Where did I go wrong? Can you maybe tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure.
What are you currently doing?
Yes. So, first of all, I have been around in this space for quite a long time, around 6 years. I think that's where I met a lot of your colleagues, the host, and then in the back office of the NFT team, where we ran into a lot of the conference in Russia, in Singapore, all the way back then during the Gold Rush ICO 2017 and also this year. So I work for a Japanese blockchain group here in Asia, and we have offices pretty much everywhere in the hottest key market like Vietnam, where we're keeping our R&D base. Then we have offices in Malaysia, Japan, Thailand, and Singapore. Do a lot of work. We are more on the product side of the blockchain, and lately getting into the the crypto side of it. About 6 months ago, I left that job just to explore how big enterprise can adopt these blockchain stuff. And by the way, Sovico Group is actually one of the biggest group coming from Vietnam. If any of you actually ever travel to or through Asia, you may seen these airlines BitJet. So globally, they and Sovico Group owns that, and the banks and owns everything in Vietnam. The BitJet, people used to call them the Bikini Airlines. I think you can Google that. They are one of the they have this very and it was successful. And
for some reasons, I've got this picture of a steward wearing really fancy clothing. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, they're very famous for that. So right now, I'm helping them with a lot of the blockchain adoptions for their ecosystem. But at the same time, I ran into a lot of a few of my co-founder. They are very famous, Vietnam movie producer as well as Hollywood, like a movie producer as well, called Charlie Nguyen. And he got this idea, how blockchain and crypto can disrupt his traditional market, because he see a lot of pain points in his current industry, which I will share a little bit later in my slide as well. And entertainment is one of the industry. You can see a very clear example how a proper tokenization can enable a new metaverse for that industry alone, that no one or no technology have been able to do that before.
So why don't we see your presentation?
Sure.
Can we enable a link for Cris?
Yes.
On the screen?
Yeah. I supposed to click on the TV,
yeah,
right?
There you go. Yeah. You see behind you now, there is a tab on the screen.
Yep.
To share your screen, yeah?
Yeah.
If you need a hand, let us know.
I think last time I tried, it's working, so let me try again.
if it's not going to work with your background, then we're doing something really wrong. Yeah.
All right, you see my screen.
Amazing. Yes. Brilliant.
All right, no technical issue. That's good. So I click on the TV to enlarge it, right? So everyone can see it, or you can just do it yourself.
Yeah. No, if we tap on that screen behind you, it fills up a screen on our phones. So yeah, that's
Oh,
what I'm
do I
doing now.
do it?
No. It's fine. It's fine right now. So if anybody in the room, if you want to see the presentation, Chris's presentation closer, just simply tap on that screen above Chris right now, and it shall fill up your phone screens. So it'll be like they don't need to zoom in on it.
Sure. All right, let's start. So
Yeah,
I
let's
think
start.
I start first with a little bit on the macro view, right? I think the NFT and DeFi trend has started about 4 years back, to be exact, where I first saw, CryptoKitties, Axie Infinity in some of the conference where we speak at, and they were tiny. They was tiny. They have these small booth, like a very humble startup. They couldn't really afford, like these, like fixed stage booth at these
The
conference yet.
fancy ones.
Yeah, the fancy one, and the fancy one usually go already, like the time that we speak right now. So I met CryptoKitties, Axie Infinity all the way back then. They was humble. They was very small, and I think even at that time we already have these congestion, like on Ethereum. I don't know if you were there, during those period where CryptoKitties first came out, and it was ridiculous, right? When we look at the example and the application of it, and it's a lot of people say like, hey, this is nonsense, right? You get the kitty, it's look different in color, it look different, not even power, right? But it has been trading like crazy, making a lot of traffic on Ethereum. um, and look where we are today, right? Axie Infinity, sometimes the fully diluted market cap hits around $6 billion, and you see a new batch of NFT gaming flood into the market as well, and the clearest sign of NFT are here to stay and NFT are not bluffing is actually that the big guys are joining as well. You see Adidas, you see all of the gaming are start jumping into like the NFT scenes right now, because NFT actually allowing application or ecosystem to interact with their user or their fans the way it has never been done before, which I give example of one of my project, which is Farm Central later. Yeah. So here, basically, this is what happens in the past 4 years, right? So if you look at NFT, you look at metaverse. In a broader terms, you have layer one, which is more all of the protocol, and compared with where we are 4 years ago, now we have a lot more like emerging chains like Near, Solana, Avalanche, Polygons, Polkadots, a lot of them, right? Then on top of these things, you have clearly the DeFi layers, which is all the swap, all of the DeFi gaming, and everything. And the emerging layer number three, which is where we are mostly at the moment, are cross-chain, bridge and extension, which allowing you to don't really have to leave a certain apps, and you can just play with all kind of tokens and all kind of applications on your phone. So here in Vietnam, we have Coin 98, actually original from Vietnam as well. And I think currently they're holding the record for having the most successful launch pad on Binance, I think 2 months back or something like that. So they start off as a universal wallet, then they develop more into a DeFi ecosystem where you can easily cross bridge, for all kind of things. And Farm Central, the F logo, we positioning ourselves right here as well, and we try to develop our application all the way to layer 4, which is the metaverse, when you connecting the physical world, the real business in the traditional world with the digital experience, for example. So like I said, NFT actually can change the game. It really can change the game for a lot of the project out there. Before I go into Farm Central, I would very quickly touch on one of the projects that I advise called Green Valley. Green Valley is a CSR project originally, where they try to fundraise and plant trees all over the world. So they try to fundraise, to make more the earth more green. However, they run into this challenge, like they can't able to fundraise for their very nice purpose, right? So they enable the gaming side of it. So they they build this game around the green elements story, and people can play that NFT games, and 30% of the profits will go into planting trees and everything. And it has been success in Brazil, Indonesia, and Vietnam. So basically these countries just pick up the games and play the games, and they contribute into these very nice CSR campaign. And the project recently has been listed on Gate.io, which is quite nice. All right, so that's one example, right? And so go back to Farm Central, which is the project that I'm co-founding at the moment. So NFT actually open up a lot of stuff. It's enhancing the creativity of the content creator. It enhanced the engagement between the entertainment project itself with its fans, its investor, its community, that before we never have that chance. And absolutely you can ignore the financial side of these DeFi and NFT application, where any good project can look for liquidity, can look for funding, and the liquidity of these tokens are almost in real time.
Are you talking about play to earn kind of a concept here?
No, it's not. It's part of the later. I have an example. It's not the previous example was a little bit on play to earn, but I was saying like it's open up the the interaction, the metaverse of the game with what they're trying to do in real life, in real business, which is like planting trees, CSR and stuff like that. Yeah. Right. So Farm Central,
Got it, sorry.
don't worry. So Farm Central, they have both D apps, where you can basically do everything with your token, from swapping to any cryptocurrency, or staking and farming, and providing liquidity for any entertainment project that you like. I think in the beginning, right? You mentioned about Korea, right? I think in a few weeks, Farm Central going to have a very big announcement, and I think this is first of the kind, where we have this cross-country collaboration, where Farm Central allowing one Korea, a project to open up its metaverse on our launchpad, where it's issuing the project tokens as well as a social token for the celebrity in the movies. I think recently a lot of you guys have watching Squid. You have watched Squid movie from Korea. It has been viral all over the world as well. Yeah.
Frankly speaking, I didn't, but I know that at schools there's been a concern that apparently even kids were watching it, and now everyone tells me like, you gotta watch it. It's really weird. It's so good.
It's so good. So basically, right, in the traditional world, looking at the filming industry as a whole, there's a big challenge of connecting between the filming, the project itself, with the good component, for example, like writers, actor, actress, community, fans, um, as well as the ability to make sure that the project gonna come out, the movie gonna come out successfully at the cinema and everything. There's a lot of elements that would affect the outcome of a movie before it's go to the cinema. Not everyone can become a script movie, where it's really weird. It's really weird, and it took the producer 8 years to come out with that movies, and he only like 8 episodes for the entire series, which is really short. Um, so with Farm Central, right now, this project can basically just launch themselves in the marketplace, where right away they can look for funding from the invest, and at the same time they can issuing this token, and right away they acquire a number of uh, fans, as well as like investor, almost in real time and immediately. um, you may I may have an argument saying that, hey, but it sounds exactly like how things has been done before for this movie project, right? uh, Almost yes and no, because a lot of these traditional entertainment project has fundraised the traditional ways, which basically the funding usually coming from a few guys or a few funding companies, which doesn't help much for this entertainment project at all. It doesn't have that decentralized power that uh, uh, like blockchain and DeFi and NFT brings to them. For example, right? If you selling the funding capital of the movie for two investor, compare with now you have 10,000 of investor already on board into your project. It's absolutely different when the movie start coming out like sweet movie. I'm gonna tell you like, oh, keep watching it, but you wanna watching it because I invest in it, right? So right away, number one, they can fundraise for themselves, and number two, they have right away a marketing army for them already, which they talk on it, they talk about it on social media, they shared about it, they sharing about the project and everything. And you know what? It's because everything was based on NFT tokens. A lot of these investors don't have to face the existing problem of the traditional problem for entertainment project, which is liquidity. Once you invest into a movie, once you invest into a project, highly likely that in real life right now, you have to wait until the entire cycle of that movie finish, which basically you closing the premiere of the movies in globally, you stop filming and everything, then you can start return and the payback to the investor. But now it's different because it's NFT based, right? Anyone can buy it uh, during the middle of the project progress, or when it's still start, when it's still premiere in the US or in other country. So basically you can exit and you can get the liquidity of the project, and it's fun, which it's has not been the way before, right? And one last thing is that now these project and these celebrities actually have the chance to interact with its fans the way it has never been before. If you like
Hmm.
an actor, I don't think you can actually invest in his movie or her movie, right? But now you can with these kind of things. So it's allowing project or celebrities have a better interactions with its community, which is one of the most powerful thing that I have seen for the DeFi ecosystem, right? The crowd, the community have a say in where we should go, how we should do, and the outcome of the project itself, right? Um, so with all of that, we potentially can turn every single fans or investor, crypto or not, into the metaverse of the entertainment, and we hope to using the example that we're going to do with the Korean market in a few weeks to show this better. So here you can see that all metaverse is the term that you're going to see on newspaper a lot, on the news a lot in a few weeks, where we're going to kick off the entire campaign on how to turn your business into metaverse using NFT and the cross chain launchpad that we are providing. And right now we already have a number of projects coming out in Korea as well as Vietnam and Thailand. So that's a good news. If any of you have these potential project that we can collaborate, let me know as well. I'm attaching my LinkedIn profile on my profile as well. And lastly, before I end, we actually set up new ventures where we invested in a lot of these NFT gaming, NFT related project for entertainment as well. So if you have a project that currently looking for funding and it's have a real practical usage, please let me know. We can talk about that. So yeah, that's about it for my sharing.
Listen, that's a very interesting concept. So we're talking about application of DeFi and blockchain in your example for the film and other entertainment industry overall. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. But then how is it going to work with in terms of the rights management? Because you obviously, I think you want to give the artists capabilities to maybe register their ideas and get funds for their production.
Correct. So I think that's a very valid question. So I usually explain to non-blockchain and crypto peoples that in this case, NFT or blockchain is just another extra layer to help you to sell your product better, market your product better, increase the accessibility of your product better. But it won't replace the current and the traditional way of how you should protect yourself in terms of IPs registration, as well as all the trademark and everything. So basically, put that in a summary, you still have to do it. You still have to do it the traditional way. For example, a lot of the art coming into our platform, yes, they're issuing the NFT version of the art, but at the same time, they register their art piece with regulated bodies where, later, if we have a certain dispute case, they have all the legal foundation to protect themselves. And at that moment, the NFT, the blockchain side of it is another layer that helping to prove that yes, I actually own this art piece, for example. So do not count on NFT and blockchain entirely. You still have to do additional legal way as well.
Sorry, can you hear me okay? Because I need to charge the phone as well because it's I've been on it for a while. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, brilliant. I just wanted to ask you a question. Since you in this blockchain sphere, we had some speakers today talking about gaming and blockchain, and blockchain gaming and things like that. My knowledge, forgive me, is quite limited, but I think there are a lot of limitations. Well, not a lot. There's, I think, one big limitation that comes with blockchain is the scalability trilemma, as they call it, isn't it? You always have to face a choice between decentralization, security, or scalability. So any Ethereum user, I think, would agree that Ethereum is one of the most distributed networks. its scalability is still lacking. And similarly with the Bitcoin, it's known for processing many transactions. It isn't known, sorry, for processing many transactions. So with the approach of deploying blockchain for the filming and entertainment industry, would this be approach where you kind of are focusing on decentralization and security more than scalability? How it would work? Sorry, does it make sense what I'm saying?
It is. It's a very valid question, actually. So I think scalability is still a challenge now. So I think I mentioned about Solana, I mentioned about Polkadot and Near. They are still unproven. Despite the report and despite that they are claiming that they, can taking care like a number of transactions per second, for example, right? But I think scalability are still a challenge. But I think as we speak today, these blockchain project and even Farm Central, we have identified a way where you're keeping a balance in your current application. There will be some part you keep it centralization, and there will be some part where you keep it decentralization. So I think we learned from the problem of recently. I think the easiest problem was Axie Infinity, where the pricing and the entry point to play the game was absolutely outrageous, like really high, like a couple $1,000 or something like that. So they have learned from it, and they try to fix it by modifying organization models where they try to make less decentralization, and it's more like open for everyone. That's number one. And number two, if your application actually involves a lot of data and informations, now we have these another type of blockchain where we call it the Oracle. So Oracle will help you to very big amount of data that it does not affect the.
You're talking about SQL and Oracle, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Most famous one is Chainlink at the moment. So they just onboard the Google guy. So you don't put now you don't put everything on blockchain, so it's get congested, right? So a lot of these applications have learned it, and even themselves as well. We try to keep the part where token exchange and everything as the most decentralized, where a lot of the other, for example, internal ecosystem interaction, it can be centralized. So you less depends on any protocol, just because it's activities.
Chris,
I don't think
Chris,
yeah.
Forgive me for interrupting you. I'm really engaged right now, but I just realized in 1 minute I've got another session starting. Could we maybe wrap it up? But let's stay in contact, please. I think we're connected now, aren't we? If you tap on my let's set up another call after the event, and we'll do another session. Because I think what you're talking about is a very hot topic, and Asian markets for me is a very big focus. Would that be okay? Sorry to cut you short.
No, I think we go beyond the time that I expect, which is a good sign. Thank you so much for the hosting, and thank you the event for having me again.
Listen, the pleasure is all ours, and I highly appreciate your presentation. I'm buzzing at the moment, and I should be sleeping. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Do follow us on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. And feel free to join Angie's Phi presentation next. Come to the next room. I think that would be good, because he's a guy that's I think also from your part of the world. So we'll be able to discuss it further maybe. Okay?
We do. Thank you.
Cheers, Chris. See you shortly. Bye-bye.